All right, happy Tuesday, and for you baseball lovers, happy wild card week for us Mets fans. A disappointing end to the season. We are going to do a little bit of a Jonathan Kuminga video. Shams reported, roughly around dinner time, 6 o'clock Eastern, that Kuminga has signed a 2-year deal with Golden State. The second year contains a team option in the deal. We're going to kind of just give you a little bit of cap semantics, how it impacts Golden State, what's next with the Warriors and their roster. He was facing, as everyone knows, an October 1st deadline, roughly 11:59 p.m. There was an $8 million qualifying offer. If Kuminga signed the qualifying offer, he would have been an unrestricted free agent next year. I thought that was kind of the worst case scenario if you were Golden State when you look at them with their salaries, basically top heavy with Curry, Green, and Butler, three players making roughly $140 million to get Kuminga on an $8 million contract would not have been a good situation. And I think the dynamics within that locker room would have been not great, especially on a player going a player on a 1-year contract who's going to be an unrestricted free agent. When you look at it, it's been well documented as far as what the offers were. The 2-year deal, which he has signed with the team option. There was a 3-year deal with no options at lesser money. And then there was a 3-year deal with a team option for roughly $75 million. This deal for Golden State will give you a little bit of a perspective from the Warriors. They really did not budge off their original number. The starting salary comes in at $22.5 million. They get the team option that they wanted, and they also get the 1-year bird restriction that is basically a de facto trade clause that Kuminga could have happened. Is waived in this regards. Golden State can trade him without his permission. There is no obligation as far as what team Kuminga picks if there is a trade, which can happen starting on January 15th. That trade restriction gets lifted. If the contract was for 2 years straight, there would have been no trade clause, no trade restriction. But because there's either a 1-year deal or there's an option in there, you could have he could have had the right to veto a trade. I even went on TV a few weeks ago and I said, listen, if you want to put the trade, let him have the 1-year bird, fine, because once you exercise the team option in the trade, the 1-year bird goes away. As I said, in part, Kuminga gets a trade bonus. If he's traded on January 15th, it's 15% of what the contract would be, a little over $1 million. Golden State would pay that. That gets added on to his $22.5 million salary. All in all, it's a win-win for both sides. I think when you look at it, certainly from Golden State's perspective, as I said, they didn't budge off where they were. For Kuminga, he was basically staring at an $8 million qualifying offer. He gets an extra $14.5 million. He gets the trade bonus in there. He potentially could become an unrestricted free agent, but that would have Golden State declining that team option or whatever team he gets traded to. If he gets traded, he has non-bird rights. So the maximum that he can make next year is 22.5 times 120%, roughly $27 million. It's still a good deal. That's why you want the higher you go, the better for Kuminga here. But when you look at it roster-wise, Golden State right now, they signed Gary Payton II to a 1-year minimum contract. He has a $2.3 million cap hit. They signed Will Richards to a 4-year contract. He has roughly a $1.3 million cap hit. They will sign Al Horford to a 2-year contract for the tax mid-level exception. It starts at $5.685. They are now hard capped at second apron. They are signing DeAnthony Melton to a 2-year contract at the veteran minimum. Melton starts off at $3 million. Remember, when Golden State went into free agency, a lot of these deals had already happened. Certainly with the Kuminga situation, you basically had to get your house in order. Melton comes in at 2 years. They are $2 million, 2019 under the second apron. You are hard capped at that. That gives them the flexibility to sign a 15th player starting on November 11th. They can do that. You can certainly wait until December and give yourself some more flexibility. So roster spot 15 will not come into fruition until sometime early part of the season. 14 players under contract, 12 guarantees, two partial or non-guarantee, 3 two-way players. Golden State has their roster set. There's no Kuminga distraction, at least we don't think. And now the goal is try to integrate him as far as where his role is coming off the bench and whether they do start. You're looking at somewhere of a lineup of Curry, Pods, maybe Moody. Everybody kind of goes into their natural positions. Butler, Green, and Horford. Biggest thing for me is kind of managing the minutes. You have 4 players in their mid-30s, but certainly their bench, when you look at it from a backcourt perspective, with Melton, Payton, Heald, maybe Pods comes off the bench. You still have Moody. You got Will Richard. Certainly the backcourt is a strength of where they are depth-wise here. So that is it on Jonathan Kuminga, who has signed in Golden State. Thank God we don't have to really talk about that much more. Now we can talk about Golden State on the court. We've got a training camp primer that comes out on Wednesday, 8,000 words. Enjoy. And we have an early season trade deadline guide that we're working on that will come out next week also. That is it. Have a great evening. We will talk soon.
And at number 4, Monica, where you at, girl? I need your energy on this one.
Boom, 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 bam!
There you go. Jonathan Kuminga, because you have Steph, you have Jimmy, you have Draymond. All of those guys are senior citizens, and they're trying to win an NBA championship and come out of a tough Western Conference. And here you are right now, you have a distraction. They need to get this under control. They need to get him to training camp and try to have him with the right mindset. And it's going to start with the front office and the head coach and Steve Kerr. Coming in at number 3, bam, put it up there. Kawhi Leonard. We see what's going on. We see all the allegations, the rumors, the investigation, all that. But they have a great leader over there in Tyronn Lue, who's the head coach. And now it's time for him to go into training camp, listen, deal with this situation and say, we're here to play basketball, and make sure that Kawhi, your best player, has the right mindset and could go out there on the floor and produce at a high level with a clear head. Coming in at number 2, Malika, where you at, girl? I need your energy on this one. I need it. There you go. Joel Embiid. We've been seeing videos on social media of him working out. He looks skinny. Is he healthy? Right? We saw the reports where he aired out the organization and talked about how the trust is broken. We need to see what Joel Embiid is going to look like, how he's feeling. If I'm feeling, I got to make sure he is in the right headspace coming into this season. And at number 1, put it up there. Bam! I know this may be surprising, but Russell Westbrook. Because he's not on the training camp roster. He's not on anybody's roster right now. And that is surprising to a lot of people. He should be on somebody's roster.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Where do Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler rank among the NBA's elite? As the new NBA season kicks off, 2 of the league's most respected veterans, Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, are once again making headlines. And for good reason. For the past decade, the Golden State Warriors have been synonymous with championship contention. But with only one NBA Finals appearance in the last 6 years, some have started to question whether it's time to temper expectations. Then again, when you have Steph Curry leading your team, it's hard not to aim high. Golden State is clearly doing everything it can to maximize the twilight years of Curry's legendary career. At last season's trade deadline, the Warriors made a bold move, acquiring 6-time All-Star Jimmy Butler. The results? Immediate impact. The duo clicked right away, helping the team to a 22-5 regular season record together, and showing that this new partnership could be something special. Still among the league's best. Even in their mid to late 30s, Curry and Butler are proving that age is just a number. In ESPN's Top 100 NBA Players ranking for the 2025-26 season, both stars earned well-deserved spots among the top 20. Curry, now 37, was ranked No. 7 overall, down just 1 spot from last year. He continues to be one of the most dominant and impactful players in the game, averaging 24.5 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 6.0 assists per game last season. And his value to the Warriors? Undeniable. Golden State outscored opponents by 299 points when Curry was on the floor, the best mark on the team. When he sat, they were outscored by 28, wrote ESPN's Anthony Slater. Curry isn't just playing well, he's still the engine that drives the entire Warriors machine. Butler, now 36, came in at no. 18 on ESPN's list. After a rocky exit from Miami, he seems to have found new life, and the perfect fit, in Golden State. In his 30 regular season games with the Warriors, Butler averaged 17.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 1.7 steals per game. More importantly, he helped the team flip the script. Golden State was 25-26 before Butler arrived. They finished the season 23-8, then upset the No. 2 seed Rockets in the first round, Slater added. Now with a full offseason to gel, Butler is expected to be even more comfortable and dangerous, heading into his first full season as a Warrior. The outlook for 2025-26. There are plenty of question marks around Golden State heading into this season, roster depth, coaching adjustments, and long-term direction among them. But what the Warriors do have is one of the most battle-tested and dynamic duos in the NBA. With Curry and Butler leading the way, this team has every reason to believe it can make another deep playoff run. The chemistry is there. The leadership is there. The talent is undeniably still there. And if last season was any indication, the best may be yet to come. Continuing the momentum. With the Warriors heading into the 2025-26 season, much of the league's attention is centered on how far Curry and Butler can take this retooled squad. Internally, Golden State appears confident. The front office, under pressure to capitalize on the remaining prime years of its core, is reportedly exploring final roster moves to bolster the bench and add more shooting around its stars. One key storyline is how Butler's leadership and defensive intensity have reshaped the team culture. After a few seasons of inconsistency and locker room concerns, especially following Draymond Green's decline and Klay Thompson's exit, Butler's arrival brought a new edge to the team. Coaches and players have pointed out that Butler's presence has made practices more competitive and expectations more focused. Jimmy came in and immediately raised the standard, one assistant coach said, according to internal team sources. He holds everyone accountable, including Steph, and that's saying something. Curry, for his part, has welcomed the challenge. After years of carrying the offensive load, he's found new energy in playing alongside a teammate who can create his own shot, facilitate offense, and take on tough defensive assignments. This shared responsibility has not only extended Curry's effectiveness, but also opened up the floor for the team's younger players. What the numbers say. Statistically, the Curry-Butler pairing produced one of the best net ratings among starting duos in the league last season, posting a plus 12.4 net rating when on the court together. Their offensive synergy was particularly evident in clutch moments. The Warriors were 14-2 in games decided by 5 points or less after the trade. Defensively, Butler's impact has been measurable. Opposing teams shot just 42.1% from the field when he was the primary defender, the lowest mark on the team. His ability to guard multiple positions also gave head coach Steve Kerr more lineup flexibility, often allowing for smaller, faster rotations without sacrificing physicality. Reactions around the league. Across the league, reactions to the Warriors' resurgence have been mixed. Some analysts believe the Curry-Butler pairing may have arrived too late in their careers to mount a serious title run, citing age and durability concerns, particularly given Butler's recent history of knee issues. Others, however, argue that their experience and playoff pedigree could be exactly what Golden State needs to navigate a Western Conference loaded with young, athletic teams like the Thunder, Spurs, and Timberwolves. Former players have also weighed in. On a recent podcast, retired NBA champion Andre Iguodala called the Curry-Butler combo the most professional, no-nonsense duo in the league, adding that they don't waste possessions or time. Looking ahead. The road ahead won't be easy. The Western Conference remains deep, and questions linger about the Warriors' supporting cast. Jonathan Kuminga is expected to take a bigger leap this season, and the team is still waiting on consistent production from Moses Moody and Kevin Looney. But as long as Curry and Butler remain healthy and aligned, Golden State has a fighting chance, and perhaps more than that. Their on-court chemistry, combined with a renewed defensive identity and veteran focus, makes them a serious threat, even if they're flying slightly under the radar compared to flashier contenders. This season may not be about returning to dynasty form, but it very well could be about redefining what winning looks like in the final chapters of two storied careers.